Complexity in managing containers brings us to an orchestrator. One well-known production-grade container orchestrator is Kubernetes. Soon after playing with all the YAML files to define and refine your cluster, you want an easy-to-use graphical user interface or GUI to glance through your cluster. Both operations and developers need to have a common way to go through this complex setup that has been put together. Imagine a GUI that can not only show this information in a much more pleasing way, and also highlights any configuration errors that you are making in your cluster. Welcome to QBS, the obvious GUI for Kubernetes. This is Naren Krish and you're watching. Before we jump in, we already discussed multiple GUIs in our channel. K9, yes, Vim-like interface with lots of shortcuts to scroll through your cluster. Kubernetes Lens IDE, a desktop applications that can connect to your cluster remotely and can manage your resources. Octane, another IDE for Kubernetes we use in some of our videos. What is your favorite IDE or GUI or dashboard when it comes to Kubernetes? Comment that below and let's interact. Today we are going to see about QBS. This IDE takes not so obvious approach with features like analyzing your Kubernetes cluster, like text-based searching, hierarchy-based configuration access to your full cluster resources, impact radius analysis, time machine, that word itself is so cool, configuration validations, capacity planning, and the list goes on. Stay till end of this video. I am going to explain starting from setup and going to end it with where it can help you in your day-to-day activities, and don't forget to share this with your friends and colleagues. The easiest way to install QBS is using Helm, and just follow below 3 steps. kubectl create namespace QBS, Helm repo add QBS, add the QBS repo, Helm upgrade atomic I QBS, QBS/QBS, install it on the namespace QBS. Yeah, there are lots of QBS here. Just by following these 3 steps, you will have the QBS running in your cluster. Quickest way to access this is to use kubectl port forward. You can also create a Kubernetes ingress. For this video, I'm going to just create a port forward. The commands again here is simple. Kubectl get pods QBS, and then look for our UI component. Then write kubectl port forward, use the UI component pod name, expose it into our local 8080, and it's already running an 80 port. Of course, it's in namespace QBS. Just for demonstration, I'm going to deploy Argo CD, which is a Kubernetes native CI/CD tool that runs within a Kubernetes cluster. With lots of related components getting deployed, I think it can help us understand the QBS features better. Please note, I could have used any application that runs Kubernetes for this example. So I'm going to quickly install Argo CD with these 2 commands. kubectl create namespace Argo CD, kubectl apply -n Argo CD -f, and the URL from where I can fetch the install.yaml. Now that Argo CD is installed, let's open our QBS IDE to check it. Very first amazing feature you will notice is this text-based search feature. You can basically search with any text and it will list all the resources from the cluster that matches your text in some way. Let's say I want to look for resources using port 8080, and then I can filter the resources that I am interested in. Say for example, I am selecting the service. Now you can see it shows 2 resources, one from Argo CD and other from kubesystem. You can further use other filters on the left side like labels, annotations, just resource with errors or warnings, and QBS specific markers like high memory users, etc. I'll explain about them in a while. Have you ever seen such text-based full search in any other IDE or GUI for Kubernetes? If so, comment below. I'd like to know about it. I know I jumped into search first, but the most beautiful thing that QBS does is it scans the cluster, provides this easy to access view. Look at this summary view. It shows configuration summary listing out the count of your namespaces, applications, pods, No, you can't just click it. It's just for information. And then the infrastructure summary listing the nodes in your cluster, volumes, overall cluster CPU, memory, storage. Cost information could have been here. That would have helped recent trend in FinOps. If you don't know what is FinOps, we are going to come up with a detailed discussion on FinOps in our channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and bell icon. Coming back, if you scroll down immediately, it lists the top namespaces with issues. QBS identifies many configuration errors such as misuse of labels, missing ports and others. I'll show you some examples shortly. Impact radius analysis. As we know, in Kubernetes, you can share and reuse configuration. Imagine this scenario. Wait, you don't have to imagine. It happens all the time. We try to change a config without knowing all the places it is being referred. Thanks to QBS, it can show you all the impacted components based on the config you choose. I am navigating to DNS mask config file. We can see the small sharing marker here next to the config file, and I can see in the properties window that it is also shared by kubedns. This way you know modifying this config will also impact kubedns. Enough watching in movies. Let's see Time Machine in action now. Yeah, QBS do help you go back in time and look at your cluster configuration at that point of time. This helps in identifying how cluster configuration changed over time that might have resulted in any issues you are facing in your cluster. Let's take an example. Let me navigate to Argo CD application controller. And select this service. I see the target port is mentioned as 8082. Let's edit it and make it as 8083. Heading back on QBS, we can immediately see that it has updated the config and also it shows a warning missing port 883 definition, which is correct. We gave an invalid port where there is no container listening. So you know when you make a configuration mistake, QBS highlights it immediately. It's not just that, the main functionality is here in the timeline tab. You will have to activate the timeline machine by clicking here. Now you have the ability to go back in time and see what config was present at that time. By going back in timeline, you can see the port was 8082 before I changed it and there is no warning at that time. So I can take action right away to fix my changes. I just showed you one validation QBS did for us when we gave a wrong port number in our service configuration. But that's just one check. QBS comes with some additional checks out of the box. Each of these configuration validations will give warnings in respective resources. Let's find some critical validations errors. In kubesystem, we can notice 4 critical errors and multiple warnings getting displayed. If I drill down, I can see the criticals are around raw configs. Let's check this cluster role binding. QBS identifies that this cluster role binding, there is no linked service account. Cool, right? While navigating, you will notice that there are other markers here. Let's quickly understand them. The rook icon represents that this is a large namespace. The spy icon represents this resource has got Kubernetes API access outside its namespace. The radioactive icon represents that these resources in the namespace are with excess privileges, say host network enabled, etc. Critical icon notifies that there are critical errors like missing service accounts, just like we saw in our previous section. The warning icon, it's useful to see warnings in your cluster, and the list goes on. I know it's already lots of information. Let's take a deep breath. Over and above, you can also write your custom rules to keep your organization validations in place. Example, I want to ensure my images always be version v1. Click on the rule editor and let's put the target as select of image. because we are going to target the image. And in the rule script, I have already written it. Let's check this. So it's item.props.tag. So I'm checking, look for the tag. If the tag is not having v1, then you have to error you are not using v1. Please don't do that. This way you can enforce organization rules using QBS. When it comes to capacity planning in Kubernetes, two key points are there. One is the resource utilization of your component, and the other is how much overprivileged your components are. QBS simplifies both for you. You can quickly check the resource configurations in properties windows here. And overprivileged resources are marked with the markers I explained in the last section. Role-based access control is important but complex concept in Kubernetes. I am going to come up with a detailed video on Kubernetes RBAC in this channel. Do hit that subscribe button and give a thumbs up if you would like to watch this one. If you look at RBAC directly on YAML file, it might be pretty complex to follow. QBS simplifies it by showing easy to read matrix. Let's scroll down here and click on this resource role matrix. You can see a neat representation. Have you ever seen any other GUI does this? I haven't. If you have, mention it in the comments. Should you use it? I just explained all the features that tool has to offer. Now we come to the main question, who should really use it? Kubernetes, even though it's a container orchestrator, sounds more like an infrastructure scope, but developers are also well aware of it, as they have to create the YAML manifest to instruct the cluster. I see this being used by both developers and operations, and using it for configuration validations, blast radius analysis for new changes, and full text crazy search it offers. I have not personally tested this in a huge cluster for performance. Do let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a performance benchmark of this tool on large cluster. I know when I started this video, I mentioned to install the QBS into the cluster to unveil its full power. But if you just want to give it a try, you can try using QBS portable version that runs on your local machine but with limited functionality, like for example, Time Machine is not there. Now that we have come to the end of the session, do make sure that you are checking the other videos that I made about the GUIs and IDEs of Kubernetes like K9S. Do check out our CKA certification that is available, and this playlist is going to give you all the information about Kubernetes in a more simplified and analogy based way. Thank you for watching.